YouTube. Right, flight 1 of today successful. Edinburgh to Amsterdam through passport control now, and we have began the carb top up with a massive football. Life of a international coach slash wannabe athlete, mate. We need to eat stuff in the airport, or what the airport gives us, because we come really unprepared. We try to open this bottle of water with one hand, that's not good. Yeah, because we come unprepared, so we need to just kind of play roulette with the food choices that are in airports. This Amsterdam one's pretty good because the Amsterdam airport is fucking huge, to be fair, so there's quite a bit. So I've had a chicken salad thing from McDonald's, which wasn't the best, but it was food at the end of the day. And then there was a big healthy-ish kind of salad, fruit bar, coffee shop area that I'm sat at just now, so we indulged in some fruit, mate, and got ourselves a coffee. But yeah, mate, this is us flying back home to meet the two riots, and then the next video will be us racing Copenhagen, mate. It's now Wednesday, so our plan is to me and Cassandra and Pup are travelling tomorrow, the Thursday, so we're spending Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then heading back Sunday. It's about a 4-ish hour drive from where we're at in Sweden, so road trip, mate, road trip. You'll get some footage of that. Anyway, I just thought I'd check in because I've not really checked in yet. So that's the plan, mate. That is the plan. Anyway, I'm going to go eat, drink some coffee, and watch Mr. Ryan Stoughton on YouTube. Thanks for the entertainment, Ryan. Good lad. Where's the Gilby dog? There's the Gilby dog. Hello, YouTubes. I'm now back home in Sweden. Say hi to the missus. Missus, say hi to YouTubes.
Hello, YouTube.
Anyway, mate, we're going to get some dinner, and then I'm going to sit down with you and talk all things Hyrox Copenhagen strategy, how we've tapered, how we're fueling into Copenhagen, and all that. All right, there we go. I think I'm in shot. Yeah, there we go. We're in shot, mate. We're in shot. Right, so it's now Wednesday. I compete Friday, sorry. So we went about things a little bit differently than Birmingham and Manchester. One, I've actually prioritised myself. I've managed my workload a lot better this time. In the previous two races, Birmingham and Manchester, I just didn't manage myself or my time very, very well. So that came back and kind of bit me in the arse a little bit. Didn't recover as best as I could, I definitely didn't fuel as best as I could. And both were last minute tickets. This is going to sound like I'm making excuses. It's not. It's just the reality of the situation. It's just areas that I should have done better in. But sometimes you need to go through these things to then learn from them, to then adjust and adapt. So we've done that this time. I've 100% prioritised myself going into this one. The peak has been flawless. I could not fault it. I'm in the best shape of my life going into Hyrox Copenhagen, which is a fucking good feeling. It's a really good feeling, in fact. But like I said, bringing it back to the original point of, we've done things a little bit differently this time. I essentially started tapering 10 days out from Copenhagen. Just a few things, more trial and error more than anything, but feedback off of racing Stockholm, racing Birmingham and racing Manchester, and then just throughout the preparation and the lead up to Copenhagen, my body just responds better to a little bit more rest. So rather than tapering, 4, 5, 6 days out, I've extended that taper, and we've essentially started slowly dropping volume from 10 days out. So I think 2 weeks out, total training volume was at 60%. or 65%, something like that. I think it was like 6.5 hours, just shy of 7 hours of total training. Normally I'm training 10 to 11 hours, something like that. So it was 2 weeks out, we hit just shy of 7 hours, 6.5, 7 hours or something like that it was. And then this week we've dropped training volume right down to around, I don't even think we're going to hit 4 hours. I really don't. I think it's going to be 3 something, 3 hours 20 or something like that by the time we do a shakeout run and stuff. And so far, I feel great. I really, really do. I'm feeling, again, really, really confident going into this one. Like I said before, I'm in the best shape possible, which is great. When you manage that workload and you prioritize your recovery and your nutrition, things like that, things what's the word? Things are aligned then. So I'm taking great confidence going into this race, which is great. And then nutrition wise, we went a little bit differently as well. Just because I've had time, I knew I was definitely doing this race. Whereas Birmingham and Manchester, it was like last minute tickets type of thing. So again, no excuse. I should have still fueled better than I did. But this one, we really nailed the nutrition as best as we possibly can. And over today and tomorrow, we're going to be just slowly drip feeding carbohydrates in. I don't like the word or the term like carb loading, because people then go from hardly eating any carbs on training to then smashing pizzas and burgers and chips and stuff like that. That's not what we're doing here. I'm going from a rough average of like 350 gram of carbs, sometimes 400 gram of carb if it's like double training days, for example. And we're looking at today, it'll be 400 to 450 gram of carbs I'll be having, and then tomorrow, depending on how my gut is, which has been playing up a little bit, but you don't need to know that. We're not going to go into detail about that, but depending on how I wake up tomorrow, if there's no sort of like bloating or anything like that, then it's a green light to then start loading again, or start increasing, should I say, again. And then we'll probably aim for something similar to what we've done today, of around, again, 450 gram of carb. And then I race early. I'm 20 to 9 on the Friday. I'm not going to be eating a lot of food. The last 2 solo races that I've done, I've vomited after it, and during the race, just because I've had food too close to the race, I think. So I'm not doing that. I'd rather have an extra hour in bed than get up an hour early and have like oats and eggs, for example. So what I'm going to do is pull that oats and eggs meal, and I'll have it just before I go to bed, or not just before I go to bed, but a couple of hours before I go to bed, and that'll be the last meal on the Thursday. And then when I wake up, it'll just be carby type snacks. It'll be fruits and things like that, stuff that I know that agrees with my gut, so that I can then go in there full of energy and race my best race. So yeah, pretty excited about this one, man. Pretty excited about this one. But yeah, we're traveling to me, Cassandra, and Puppy Dog. She's coming as well. We're traveling to Copenhagen tomorrow. So I'll pick you up tomorrow, and then we'll sit down again once we're in the Airbnb and stuff, and then we will go over the race tactics, because me and Josh, this is our kind of A race that we pinned of. This is going to be a big performance. So then we'll sit down tomorrow once we're in the Airbnb, and we'll go over the race strategy then. Right, mate, we are now in Copenhagen. It's just coming up to 8 p.m. now. Travel was good. Foods went down very, very well. Shakeout run done. So we're all ticked off from today, mate. Today's job is done. Over the last 2 days in total, we've probably consumed 820, 830 grams of carbs over the 2 days, which is good. No bloating or anything like that. So again, good. Hydration's been very, very good. So again, job done from a nutrition standpoint. Shakeout run, all done. It is just what it is. It wasn't as long as what was prescribed, just because it started hailstoning and raining when I was out. So I was like, right, let's just cut this 5 minutes short, which I did. Yeah, mate, I'm ready to race. I'm really, really ready to race. Like I said previously, I'm going into this race very, very confident that I'll run my best ever time. And I think part of that is due to, me prioritising myself a little bit, me dialing in the things that I could have improved on from previous preparations in terms of the peak, in terms of tapering, in terms of nutrition, in terms of sleep and recovery. All those things have been really ticked off and dialed right in. So confidence, of course, comes from that, but also the work's been done. The work's been done to my highest capability. It really, really has, and the improvements I've made in my running is night and day different to where it's ever been. Like, I'm holding paces for a faster pace and a longer duration than what I was in Manchester, and definitely what I was in Birmingham as well. So, well, that puts a lot of confidence going into this race, and plus I've been able to really periodise and peak strength as well. So I'm going into this faster, fitter, and stronger than I've ever been. So it's now just putting it all together now, not being a bit of a pussy and just fucking gritting your teeth and getting on with it. We have been speaking with Josh, my run coach, about race tactics. So in previous races, I've never really had much of a tactic. I've just kind of went in with the underlying thought process of my running isn't as good as the other people, so I need to make up time on the stations by going full send on the stations, and it's just never worked. The stations fatigue me far too much, recruit far too much lactate, and that puts my running at an even weaker position. So it's a bit stupid. So this time we're not going to do that. Josh was saying to me that he needs me to really, really believe in my running. With that new level of, I say this to my athletes all the time, with that new level of fitness needs to come that new level of belief. Because if it doesn't, then you're not going to be able to really unlock that new level of fitness that you've got. Because mentally you'll still be in that previous kind of performance ability or level, if you will. So I need to really trust that I am a lot fitter, I'm a lot faster, and I'm a lot stronger than what I've been in any other race that I've went into. So I need to race like that. I need to have that confidence. I need to back myself when it starts hurting a little bit, that I've got extra gears to go through. So it's going to be fun knowing that I've got those extra gears, and I need to then just push through it, grit your teeth a little bit and go for it. But in terms of race tactics, he said we've been dialing right in on our ranges, on my threshold ability to know where that kind of tipping point is for me. So he says push the runs till you get to that point, till you start tasting lead in your mouth, and then back off the gas just a little bit, because then you're going into that red zone, and that's what we don't want. Because then that comes poor station execution and then real high fatigue later on in the race, and that's when the wheels fall off. So he says to me, push the runs, trust yourself that you've got that pace in you, push the runs, but and then if you feel that you're that tipping point where you're getting that lead taste, that blood feeling in your mouth, or blood tasting up in your mouth, then pull the pace back just a little bit and cruising at that pace there. And he was saying with the stations, just again, get through the stations as efficiently as you possibly can. Don't try and be a hero by doing the sleds, unbroken lengths and stuff like that, or trying to get like a sub 2 minute sled time, or a 3 minute sled pull time. Don't worry about that. Just get through the stations as efficiently as you can. Make sure that you're managing that fatigue and you're managing that lactate, so that you can then get out of the station again in a quick time, but not. You're not winning the race on the sled push or pull. You can definitely lose the race. She was like, just get through the stations as efficiently as you possibly can, and then run hard off them. That should always be the aim. You should have that ability to run hard off every single station. So it's going to be a complete new thought process, new mindset going into this race, but it's one that I need to trust, and it's one that I need to trust in myself to push. And I've got that extra level of fitness and those gears that I can really go through. So I need to trust myself there, which I'm of course planning on it, mate. I'm planning on it. I'm not going to be a little bitch. I'm not going to pull the handbrake when it starts hurting. I'm going to push on. But yeah, I think that's the kind of tactics there. In terms of the ski, we're looking at holding a 2 to 205 per 500, somewhere around about that pace is going to be where I need to be to somewhat recover on that station and still do a decent time, and then I'll be able to run hard there. I've hammered the ergs this prep as well, so I do know my paces pretty well, so and that is a pace that is fairly comfortable for me. With the sled push, I'm going to brake halfway. Every single time I'm going to take 3 to maybe max 5 seconds, and I'm going to push again. I should be able to push that's still a pretty good time, even with the 3 to 5 second rest at the halfway point. I should still be able to be able to push it with some pace as well to make up for that little small gap or rest. But the thought process there is it's just not going to recruit that much lactate, so I should be able to again run hard off the sleds or off the sled push. Sled pull, it's just one of those. I'm fairly good at it. I just need to remember to run the lane when I'm going from one side to the other. I need to run that lane. I've got a habit of sometimes walking or just plodding along, run it. It's not a fatiguing station for me, so that should be fine. Burpees for me is just one of those stations. If I get the burpees done in 5 minutes, I will be happy with that. I've got a poor mindset with them. As much as I practice them, it's more of a mindset. It is a physical thing as well. I'm just shit at them, but because I'm shit at them, I tell myself I'm shit at them. So if I can get the burpees done in sub 5 minutes, I'm a happy lad. I'm a really happy lad. The farmer's carries is what it is. It's a 90-minute station. It's a 90-second station, so just get it done. The lunges, I've got a habit of kind of just lunging right through with them, and what that tends to do is just. I'm waiting sound a bit daft here, because regardless of the tactic that you use, it's still fatiguing on your legs, but me lunging through really blows up my legs, so I am going to try and do a little tap in between rather than just lunging right the way through, just to see how that feels. I've been doing it in training and it feels quite good. It doesn't blow up my legs too much. I don't know if it's more psychological than actual physical, but my legs have felt quite good after it. I've been able to do, heavy, way above race pace, 40, 50 kilo, 60 kilo lunges, and then hold really good paces on the row, for example. So I'll be able to do that. And I'm saying that, I forgot about the row. The row is before the farmers, isn't it? The row is going to be a go off of feeling type of station, depending on how kind of gassed I am. If I need the extra station rest, then I'll obviously take it a little bit on the row, and I'll try and hold a 2 to 203 per 500. If I'm feeling pretty good, then I can hold a 153 or 155, something like that, on the row, and it's still not going to be too taxing for me. So that's the range that I'll be in there. And then with the wall balls, my wall balls have always been pretty bad. I think in Manchester they were close to 5 minutes, I think. 5 or 6 minutes. They were terrible in Manchester. They really were. The wheels fell off in Manchester. So I think for me, it's not trying to go in, being a hero and trying to do one massive set and then just trying to hold on for dear life. It is trying to be a bit more tactical. I will do 30 to 40 in one set, and then I'll break it up into like 20s or 25, something like that is what I'm planning on doing. I'm definitely not going to go in with the aim of doing them broken. I'm breaking them up, and I think that's going to be a faster way for me to improve that. And then finally for me, my rock zone times have always been really, really big, just because I've stopped for water and and whatnot. I've not ran the rock zone. I've just plodded along. I've never walked, but I've plodded along at like a 6 minute a K pace, and that's why my rock zone times tend to be 6-7 minutes, which is, it shouldn't be. It should be 3 to 5 minutes, depending on the rock zone size. So the key for me is running the rock zone, just as hard as I'm running the track. We've never, throughout this entire prep, I've not done any like 800 or I've done very little, should I say, not any, but I've done very little like 800 to a kilometre threshold efforts. It's all been longer efforts. It's been 12 minutes, it's been 15 minutes, it's been 3K at threshold. It's been bigger, longer efforts. So I just need to trust that, you know, running a kilometre and then a little bit extra on the rock zone isn't going to absolutely blow me apart, and I've got the fitness and the ability to do it. So it's about not taking the foot off the gas in the rock zone and still running that, so I can make up the most amount of time. And yeah, that should if I execute the race perfectly, it should be a big personal best race for me tomorrow. So yeah, mate. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this video up here. The next video is going to be of race day, mate. So thank you so much for tuning in on this one. Stay tuned because you do not want to miss me hitting a huge PR tomorrow.